Welcome to the Alp English Podcast. My name is Camille.
And my name is Louis. Today we're traveling, with our ears, to my home country, France.
This episode is for B1 to B2 level English learners. We will speak at a natural but clear speed, and we'll explain useful words as we go, so you can practice listening and learn about France at the same time.
When you hear the word France, what do you think of first? Maybe the Eiffel Tower? Fresh baguettes? Romantic streets in Paris? Or people drinking coffee at small cafes? France is all of that, but it is also much more.
Let's start with where France is. France is in Western Europe. It is one of the largest countries in Europe, and it has different types of landscapes. Mountains in the Alps and Pyrenees, long coastlines on the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea, and many fields and vineyards in the center of the country. The capital city is Paris, and the population of France is about 68 million people.
The main language is, of course, French. French is not only spoken in France, it is also spoken in parts of Belgium, Switzerland, Canada, and in many countries in Africa. So, French is an important world language.
Here are a few simple French words that you probably know. Bonjour, hello, or good morning. Merci, thank you. S'il vous plaît, please. Au revoir, goodbye. Many French people learn English at school, but outside big cities, not everyone feels comfortable speaking it. So if you visit, even a few French words can make people happy.
What is daily life like in France? Many people live in cities like Paris, Lyon, Marseille, Toulouse, and Lille. People usually start work around 8 or 9 in the morning and finish around 5 or 6 in the evening.
In big cities, many people live in apartments, often in old buildings with balconies and tall windows. In the countryside, people are more likely to live in houses with gardens, close to fields, forests, or vineyards.
One important part of French life is the café. People like to sit at a small table with a coffee or a glass of wine, talk, watch people on the street, and take their time. The idea of taking your time is important. In many parts of France, people don't like to rush all the time. They enjoy long meals, especially with family and friends.
This takes us to one of my favorite topics, food. French cuisine, the style of cooking, is famous all around the world. For breakfast, many people eat bread or a croissant with butter and jam and drink coffee or hot chocolate. At lunch and dinner, bread is almost always on the table, often as the baguette, the long, thin French bread with a crispy crust. France is also famous for many different kinds of cheese. There is a French joke that says there are more than 300 types of cheese, maybe even more. And of course, France is very well known for its wine. There are many wine regions, like Bordeaux, Burgundy, and Champagne. Not everyone in France drinks wine every day, but wine is an important part of French culture and history.
French meals can be quite social. On weekends, families often eat together for a long time, with several courses. A starter, like salad or soup, a main dish, then cheese or dessert. This is not every day, but for special days and Sundays, it's very common.
France is also famous for its art, culture, and monuments. In Paris, you can visit the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, where the Mona Lisa is, and the Notre Dame Cathedral. Outside Paris, there are beautiful places like Mont Saint-Michel, a small island with an old abbey, or the French Riviera on the Mediterranean coast, with cities like Nice and Cannes. France has a long history. In 1789, the French Revolution began. People protested against the king and the old system. The revolution ended the monarchy and later helped to create a republic, a country governed by elected leaders instead of a king or queen. Today, France is still a republic with the president and a parliament.
Let's talk about some stereotypes, simple ideas people have about France and French people. Some common stereotypes are: French people are very romantic. They always walk around with a baguette under their arm. They are rude, and they don't like tourists. They are always on strike. How true are these?
Well, as usual, reality is more complex. Yes, many French people like good food, love stories, and talking about philosophy or politics, but not every person is romantic in the movie sense. About the baguette, people really do buy fresh bread almost every day, but they don't always carry it like in cartoons. Sometimes they put it in a bag, sometimes they don't.
What about being rude? In France, people separate private life and public life quite strongly. So a waiter in a cafe may not smile all the time, but that doesn't mean he hates you. Also, French people often appreciate politeness formulas, like saying bonjour before you ask a question. If you start directly with excuse me in English, some people may feel it is a bit too direct. And strikes. It's true that in France there are often strikes when people are unhappy about work or politics. Many French people believe in the right to protest and to protect workers' rights. So, strikes are part of the political culture, but daily life is not chaos all the time.
Let's explain some useful words from this episode. Cuisine, a style of cooking. For example, French cuisine, Italian cuisine. Monument, an important building or statue, usually with historical value. Stereotype, a simple idea about a group of people that is not always true. Republic, a country with elected leaders, not a king or queen. Strike, when workers stop working to protest and ask for better conditions.
You can pause the podcast here and repeat these words out loud to practice your pronunciation.
Before we finish, let's do a short review. Today we talked about France, a Western European country with about 68 million people and a lot of different landscapes, from mountains to beaches.
We said the main language is French, and that French is also spoken in many other countries. We described daily life, city apartments, countryside houses, cafe culture, and the importance of taking time for meals.
We talked about French food and drink, bread, croissants, cheese, wine, and long family meals with several courses. We also mentioned famous places like the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, Mont Saint-Michel, and the French Riviera.
We looked at some stereotypes: romantic people, baguettes, rudeness, and strikes. And we saw that reality is more complex. We also learned new words like cuisine, monument, stereotype, republic, strike.
If you are learning English at B1 to B2 level, you can listen again, pause when you need, and write down new vocabulary. Here is a question for you. If you visited France, which part would you like to see most and why?
You can write your answer in a notebook or say it out loud to practice speaking.
Thank you for listening to the Alp English podcast.
I'm Louis.
And I'm Camille.
See you in the next episode.